Hi lovely people, it's me Naomi Robinson and this is the Diary of Naomi. As you know, this is a channel where I talk about self-love, womanhood, self-care and all that good stuff. So if you have a mum, sister, auntie, cousin or any female that you know, pass this video on because it's all about loving ourselves and being the best version of ourselves as well.
Just text, I know it's a toss up, but I hate the fact that we lost touch. The Uber pulling up on call.
Today's video is going to be about being a woman of value. And when I say being a woman of value, I mean being a woman who knows who she is, who knows her strength, who knows her power. I haven't always been a woman of value and I'm still on that journey of being at the highest point of being a woman of value, but I'm practicing every single day. And for me, being a woman of value is being a woman who knows her worth, who knows who she is, who knows her strength, who knows her power, and just oozes confidence. There's so many different attributes of being a woman of value. In the Bible, it talks about a woman of virtue, and being a woman of value is similar. In the Bible, it says a woman of virtue is a woman of generosity, a woman with dignity, a woman with patience, a woman who is kind, a woman with courage, a woman with wisdom. These are all attributes of a woman of virtue. So if you want to be a woman of value, they are some of the attributes I'd say look at. You know, in today's world, in today's society, a lot of women don't know their values, and it shows by how we present ourselves on social media, how we present ourselves to the world. You know, it's like everybody is trying to be a woman of popularity but not a woman of value, and there's so much difference in the two. Being a high value woman will help you in every part of your life. If you start identifying and being a woman of value, you'll see your relationships change, you'll see your career change, you'll see your jobs change, everything around you, your loving relationships, your family relationships, your friendships all change, because you are in your purpose, you are showing your worth. And when you are like that, no one can really, no one can take that away from you, and people can see value in you. And once they can see value in you, they will treat you differently. And one more thing, being a woman of value isn't about the men. It isn't about attracting men. However, when you are a woman of value, men will naturally be attracted to you. It's something that comes with it. So if you're a woman of value and you show your value by how you act, then people will be more attracted to you, especially men. So let's get into this video. So I hear you asking, how do you be a woman of value? One of the attributes of being a woman of value is valuing your time. Time is precious. We have 24 hours in a day, we have 60 minutes in an hour, and that time can fly by. The years, the days, the months are flying by. So you have to know that your time is valuable, and you can't just give up your time to any and anybody. People cannot just have your time because they want it. And when you are a woman of value, you give your time sparingly. You don't get a phone call from a friend and they're saying to you, oh Naomi, can you come out tonight? And you'll be like, yeah, I'm coming. No, you don't do that, because your time is precious. You need your beauty sleep. You could have something planned for the day after that is kind of contributing to being the woman you want to be. So you can't just be getting up and going, or anytime somebody asks you to go somewhere saying okay then, because at the end of the day people will start valuing you because they think in the back of their head, hold on a minute, every time I ask her to do something she's just there quick. Has she got nothing else to do? Has she got nothing going on in her life? I know that you might feel that people will appreciate you more because you are dropping what you've got to do for them, but they will start thinking, wow, this girl has got nothing going on in her life, because as soon as I phone her, as soon as I text her to come out, she's there at the drop of a hat. No, your time is valuable. When you are a woman of value, you cannot just give your time like that. No way, Jose. You've got to earn this time. You've got to earn it. We live in an age where there's no mystery. There's no mystery. Like, people put their whole lives, everything that's going on in their lives, whether they're in the bath with their man, whether they're in the bed with their man, whether they're kissing with their man, they put it all there. There's no mystery, but you have to be mysterious when you're a woman of value. You have to make people wonder. You have to make them think, hold on a minute. Whenever I phone Naomi, she's like, oh, I'm busy, or she'll say she's coming, then she'll cancel on me because something else has come up, or she's remembered something that she needs to do. That's how you have to be. When you are like that, people will think twice and think, you know what, if I'm going to ask Naomi to go out, I've got to ask her at least 1 month in advance. I can't just drop something like that and be like, oh, Naomi, can you come with me tomorrow? And and she'll be going because she's got things to do, she's busy, her time is valuable. So you have to make sure that you give out your time sparingly, because time, it's even money. You could be making money in that time, you could be better than yourself in that time, you could be going to the gym. So don't just give your time out just like that. Even when you're dating, don't just be, a man could phone you today and say, oh Naomi, I want to take you on a date tomorrow. Be like, hold on a minute, can I get back to you please, because I need to check my diary, I might have something planned tomorrow. At times don't go, and if a man really values you or likes you, you saying no won't make him not want you. Us as women sometimes think, oh, if we don't do everything that the man says or everything that he asks me to do, he's gonna not want me. But it doesn't go like that. Think about yourself. If your man says to you tomorrow, oh, I can't make it today babe, something's come up in work, you are not gonna say, oh okay, then the relationship's over because of one thing, because you understand that his time is precious and he's got things to do. So sometimes even if you're on a date with a man and he wants to be, you know, he wants to go from, you know, from the restaurant to a club, from the club to a nightclub, be like, no, I've got an important meeting in the morning, I can come with you to the restaurant, but after the restaurant I have to go straight home. Let them know that you're busy, let them know that your time is valuable. I remember when I was younger and I used to feel bad to say no. If people used to ask me something, I used to feel like I had to say yes, because if I say no, they might not like me or they might feel like I'm a bad person. Trust me, people value you more when you set boundaries, and set boundaries when it comes to your time. Time is precious. Time goes so fast nowadays. You know, you could be, like I said, doing other things whilst you're giving people your time. I'm not saying never to give people your time, but be picky. Know when to say no, know when to say yes. A woman of value puts her happiness first, and she doesn't feel any way for doing that. As women, we are natural nurturers, and we are taught to always give to others. We are taught to nurture others and put others before ourselves. When you're a mum, it's natural for you to give everything to your children and to look after your children and put them first. When you are a wife, you're taught that your husband is that person that you look after and to put you to the side and put him first. But you cannot give up your own happiness to the detriment of others.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
But you cannot give up your own happiness for others, because when you're happy, you exude happiness, and then naturally you can pass that happiness on. But if you're not happy within yourself, you can't be good for anybody else. And we are taught as women that our happiness comes last and everybody else's happiness comes first. We've got to nurture other people, we've got to look after the man, we've got to look after the kids, but our happiness comes first. You cannot be happy looking after a child if you're not happy yourself. You cannot be at your best if you're not happy. So you have to scrap that, you know, everyone else comes first and we come last. We come first, and then everything else that we pour out to others will be amazing. They will get the best of us. So women, put your happiness first. And a woman of value knows this. A woman of value understands this. A woman of value does not feel bad for doing this. Do not feel bad, because they make us feel bad. And especially when been living in Africa, I see that a lot of women, like, they have been taught that the men come first, whether it's their brother, whether it's their dad, whether it's their uncle. They're taught that the men in their family come first. So you'd see the men looking all nice, going to the gym, looking after themselves and everything like that, being spruced up. And the women are at home putting on weight, gaining weight, because they don't have time to look after themselves. They don't have time because they've been taught that they have to look after everybody else, and they're not happy. They're not happy, and after a while it shows, it will show. And there's only so much you can do when you're not taking care of your own happiness first. You'll get to a point, you will get to a breaking point. And when you get to that breaking point, you're no good to anybody. So make sure that you put your happiness first. A woman of value puts her happiness first. One more thing, do what you have to do to make yourself happy, whether it's take yourself out, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's going for a pamper session at the spa, whether it's, you know, just staying in and buying snacks for yourself and just watching a nice film. Do what makes you happy, do what's best for you, because when you're happy, you exude happiness. And a woman of value knows her worth and puts her happiness first. A woman of value is a good listener, and she's not a gossiper. Sometimes we have to be listeners. I know as women especially, not even women, because I've seen some of the chattiest men men chat more, gossip more than women. But as a woman, sometimes we could be amongst our friends and we want to chat, we want to gossip about other people. And we even gossip about ourselves, giving people the lowdown on our business, what's going on in our love life. And I've been a culprit of this. You're kind of you're releasing frustration, you're releasing anger, you're releasing sadness. But sometimes you have to be a listener. As I get older, I think to myself, you know what? Let me not talk, let me listen, because sometimes you're giving out and telling people your business and what's going on in your life, gossiping about other people. But the person that you're talking to is not giving you anything back. They're keeping it all to themselves. So sometimes you have to just sit back and listen. A woman of value doesn't gossip. She doesn't talk about people because she is so wholesome. She doesn't need to talk about people. You know, sometimes when we talk about others, it's because there's an insecurity about within ourselves that we have. So by looking at other people's downfalls, looking at their insecurities, pinpointing their flaws, that makes us feel better about ourselves. We're thinking they've got worse things wrong with them than I have. But really and truly, that's not a good thing. That's not a woman of value. A woman of value is confident within herself. She knows her worth. She knows herself. She doesn't have to gossip about others. She will see another woman and she will uplift another woman. She doesn't need to gossip. She will see another woman and she will listen. Women of value are good listeners because we all need a listener. Sometimes it's not always about talking when we're amongst our friends. Sometimes our friends just want a shoulder to lean on. That's all they want. And if you're the one who's always gossiping, talking, then really and truly, have you really got your shit together? Because at the end of the day, if you know yourself, if you are happy within yourself, if you are confident and you've got all your ducks in a row, you don't need to gossip, you don't need to talk. You can just sit back, listen and offer advice if it's needed. But gossiping is a no-no. You don't need to gossip. If you are secure within yourself, you don't have to gossip about other people. As long as you can just listen. You don't always have to be talking. So if you want to be a woman of value, learn to listen. And listen with open ears. Don't just listen to respond. Listen with open ears. A woman of value operates at a high vibration. We live in a time where we are walking amongst many low vibrational people. The internet, TikTok, Instagram has got us, many of us, at a low vibration because they are pushing out videos, they're pushing out images at us all the time. And a lot of these videos and images are not good. A lot of them are they can be demonic. They could be very, what's the word? My mind's gone blank. They could be very just negative. Yeah, negative comments, people putting negative comments underneath posts, negative videos being thrown at you. And you're just watching these, taking it in and not realising that it's lowering your vibration because they are feeding to you what they want to, and then this is entering into our subconscious mind. And sometimes things that are operating in the subconscious we don't realise, but it's having an effect on us. It's having an effect on our vibration, on the way that we think and the way that we act. And so a woman of value understands this. She understands that she has to be at a high vibration to operate at her best. Being low vibrational means that you will accept anything. When you're at a low vibration, someone can come up to you who's not even of your standard or your caliber or who you should be letting into your life, but because they are offering you something or you're at a low vibration, you cannot see this. You're not being discerning. When you're at a higher vibration, you are discerning. You kind of look, you observe, you feel. But when you are operating at a low vibration, anyone can come to you with anything and you accept it because you can't discern. You don't use your intuition. So we have to make sure that we are operating at a high vibration, and ways of doing this is meditation, watching what you're taking in on the TV, watching what you're watching on Instagram and TikTok, limiting your time on TikTok and Instagram, limiting your time watching films and stuff, because films are one of the main things that lowers our vibration. Have you ever watched a film and it just kind of brings down your mood? You know, you've watched it and after you just don't feel right. Whatever was in that film has lowered your vibration. So whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, whatever you do within your religion to make your vibration high, do it. Pray, meditate, sit in silence, go for walks, but raise your vibration, ground. Do these things to raise your vibration, because women of high value understand this. We are not willing to let anybody into our space. So to do this, you have to make sure that your vibration is high. When your vibration is high, nothing can just enter. Nothing or no one can just enter like that. They have to be You know, no, like you go for an interview and you got to kind of, they've got to answer certain questions to be picked for that job. When you are high vibration, people that you let into your life have to be shortlisted. They have to go through a shortlisting process. Do you understand? Before you just let them in. So make sure you're operating at a high vibration. Women of high value operate at a high vibration, and they do this through prayer, meditation, exercise, and all that kind of stuff. So operate at a high vibration. Be a woman of value. Be kind. A woman of high value is kind. She doesn't need to be nasty. She doesn't have to be a bad bee. Being a bad bee is not being at a high vibration, because you're trying to prove something. You're trying to prove to others. Women of high vibration don't need to prove anything. They just know who they are. You don't have to be a mean girl. Mean girls are not women of value. Kind women are women of value. When you are kind, when you're positive, when you show empathy, that shows high value, because you are operating in your feminine. It's about operating in your feminine. If you have to be taken out of your feminine to be noticed, then you're doing too much. You're doing too much. When you are within your feminine and you're a woman of high value, you just act kind and everything will come to you. Everything will come to you. You don't have to be mean to get the attention. When you are kind, when you're empathetic, when you show love, when you show gratitude, naturally people will kind of come to you. What you want will come to you. Women of high value act within their kindness all the time, or within their feminine most of the time. There are times when we have to be in our masculine as women, but majority of the time you are in your feminine. And when you are in your feminine, you ooze kindness, you're positive. And I'm not saying that when you need to, you don't kind of have to, you switch it up and you have to, but to be honest, if you're within your feminine and you are a woman of high value, that kind of negativity and that won't even come to you. It won't come to you. When you're a woman of value and you're acting out of kindness, you uplift other women, you want to help other women, and they see that in you, they will come to you, they will warm to you. When you're a woman of value and you're kind and you're acting within your feminine, you just give positive vibes. You are softly spoken. You don't argue, you don't need to argue. And even when arguments come your way, you act in a way where the person that's arguing or shouting at you feels so stupid they have to kind of calm down. They have to kind of just like lower their tone and just come back to your level, because they can see that within you. There's no point in arguing with you. You're not going to stoop down to their level. So act out of kindness. A woman of high value acts out of kindness, is positive, she uplifts others, she doesn't drag no woman down. She doesn't need to. There is no need, because when people drag others down, it's usually to make themselves feel good. But she's already happy. She's already happy. She's oozing happiness because she is a woman of value. Being a woman of value is such like, you know, as I've got older and as I've been in a relationship, I've kind of realised like what it takes and what it is, because I feel like sometimes when you're a single woman and you're just going about business by yourself, doing what you need to do on your own, you can't really have these attributes. You can have the attributes, but a lot of the time you come out of character because you're dealing with things that you shouldn't be dealing with as a woman. So you have to kind of put that masculine energy across to let people know that you know what you're doing. But when you have that partner beside you who's in his masculine, then you can be that woman of value. You can be that woman that you need to be. You can stay within your feminine. And it's sad that we live in a world where there's so many women who kind of can't just act or be the way they want to be, kind of thing. We live in a world what's very toxic, like I said, toxic, low vibrational, and we've got to do what we've got to do at times. But I feel like if you put up boundaries, if you put your happiness first, if you act kind and all that stuff, then naturally what you want will come to you. You won't even have that negativity around you. People of value will only want to approach you. People who are not of high value won't even be in your space. They won't want to be in your space. They know they can't be in your space. I remember growing up and I didn't really have any boyfriends growing up, and I used to meet guys, but a lot of guys didn't really. I see like people around me settling and having boyfriends, and I used to have one best friend who was a guy, and he used to say to me, "Naomi, you know what it is? Guys can see, the guys that you're meeting can see your value. and they know they can't meet you at the same place. They're down there and you're up here, so they're not going to want to make you their girlfriend because they know that they cannot meet up to your expectations. They cannot give you what you want. And I went through that a lot as I was growing up. Like, I met guys and like they wouldn't, it's like they knew they could see it in me, and it was probably based on how I acted, how I kind of put myself together, and they couldn't come into my space. So if you're a woman and you sometimes feel like, oh, hold on a minute, like, why enter meeting that guy? Why I am a woman of high value, but I'm not getting what I want in regards to relationships and stuff like that. Maybe it's because you are kind of repelling the people that's not meant to be around you. When you are of high value, you are gonna attract people of high value, but them kind of with people are few and far between. So you've got to place yourself in the right surroundings to meet these people as well, and they will see you and appreciate you. When you do meet these people, don't lower your value to allow them to enter. Stay where you are. If they're the right person, they will do what they need to do to enter. So anyway, that is going to be the end of this video, and it's going to be a part 2. This is part 1. I had quite a long list of being a high value woman, but I thought I'd give you these. I think there's 5 tips, and then I'll do another video number 2. But I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your auntie, your sister, your cousin, your niece, your nan, your gran, everybody. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.